At this point in your piece, you should now have 14 stitches between your two stitch markers right here. This is going to be the beginning of the thumb. On the next row, you're going to come across until you hit the first stitch marker, and then we're going to introduce what's called a stitch holder. That will keep several stitches out of our way while we continue to work on the rest of the glove. The stitches that we're going to put on the stitch holder, we will later use to make the thumb. Okay, here we are to the stitch marker. We'll slide the stitch marker onto the other needle. We'll introduce our stitch holder. This is a stitch holder. It looks like a giant safety pin, but it's a little bit easier to work with. You'll slide the stitch holder into the next 14 stitches. That's everything between the stitch markers. And you just slide them on, taking them one stitch at a time off of the second needle. Once the stitches have all been transferred, go ahead and close your stitch holder, let it fall to the front, and then continue to knit across the row. Make sure that when you start this very next stitch that you pull it tight. When you get to the end of this row, you're going to continue working everything that's now on the needle. You're going to ignore what is on the stitch holder and just work back and forth on the needles until the piece from the stitch holder measures an additional 4.5 inches. That will be the part where your fingers go in your mitten. So continue to work that in stocking stitch, knitting the row, then purling a row, knitting a row, and so on until there are 4.5 inches complete.
Thanks for watching. Click on the next step or replay to watch another video, and please rate, comment, and subscribe. You can also visit AmericanKnitter.com to purchase the knitting DVD set.